Yes, it's me again. A little later. I've got the little one asleep over here. Mm-hmm. Um, Daddy got involved in something. I told him I wouldn't do that today. How about tomorrow? But he decided that he needed to do that, and then suddenly there was a conflict between doing what he wanted to do and taking care of the little one. So it's okay, Grosie's here. So I just want to get through Job now. I'm just doing this for the reputation of God. And, well, guess what? The next one, Book of Job 11, is Job must acknowledge God's wisdom. Really? Zophar of Namat spoke next. Oh, another one of the friends of Job's. He said, "Is babbling to go without an answer? Is wordiness a proof of uprightness?" Oh, that's a good one. "Do you think your talking strikes people dumb? Will you jeer with no one to refute you? These were your words. My conduct is pure. In your eyes I am free of blame. Will no one let God speak? Open his lips and give you answer. Show you the secrets of wisdom, which put all cleverness to shame." Oh, then you would realize that God is calling you to account for your sin. Can you claim to fathom the depth of God? Can you reach the limit of Shaddai? It is higher than the heavens. What can you do? It is deeper than Sheol. What can you know? It would be longer to measure than the earth and broader than the sea. If he intervenes to close or convoke the assembly, who is to prevent him? Okay, this is what I noticed here coming from a guy. And again, I'm guilty of that sometimes too. Oh, this guy's doing well. He's not in Job's shoes. What's he doing? He is questioning Job and his lamentations, saying, have you actually listened to God about all this? And then he exalts God above everything and everyone. Is that the right way to go? Let me ask you, when you think about God in your life, what do you want God to be? Most people acknowledge Jesus in their life much easier. Why? I think these are questions that are a part of the journey to grow to God's heart. Yes? Oh, I could give you my answers to it, but that's me. I'm not you. And I think that's a really important part of the story. This guy Zophar of Namat, who is he? Does he still have all his stuff, his children, his health? And what is he telling Job here now? And why can he do that? What if they both would be on their sick bed, covered in sores, this and that, and man, Job, and maybe then Zophar would say, man, Job, you know how I feel, man. Okay, giving both sides here. Again, on how, in a way, what's being self-righteous all about? I know what Zophar is trying to do here, but again, in what way? Is that going to help Job? And again, the one thing that I always disagree, and this is about the reputation of God, what Zophar says here, if he intervenes to close or convoke the assembly, who is to prevent him? Why would God interfere? That's not what God does among mankind. And I think after all these thousands of years of having lived and have the history for it and all that, we already know that God does not interfere. He has given us absolute 100% freedom of choice. Yes, he really has. And anything that you see out there happening now are consequences of recent past, farther past, farther away, whatever, and that is that. It's got nothing to do with God. Absolutely nothing. And has everything to do with us. And that is that. I find one of the most amazing things is no matter who you are, man or woman, child, what country or place on earth you were born into, rich or poor, whatever else, all that jazz goes with it, smart or dumb, the journey with God belongs to every individual and no one else. That's of our own absolute choosing. There's no one that can interfere with our thoughts there. No one that can brainwash us unless we let them. Our journey with God, to God's heart, to God's love, to our ultimate parent that understands his creation to the absolute fullest. Does it come to the plants, the animals, minerals, whatever? He has the absolute 100% science beyond that on anything. Knows the capabilities of everything out there to its fullest. And knows man and woman better than anyone. Yes, we call it a he, God, the Father, he, because he is subject. Yes, she is object. But that's not negative, not in my opinion. If you read the divine principle on that, it's very beautiful. It's actually very, very beautiful about the positions that we have as a man and as a woman. That doesn't make one or the other superior to the one or the other. We are absolutely 100% equal in the eyes of the Creator. Like it or not, that's how it is. If you want to preach something else out there, okay. Just saying. Who are you? And how do you want people to follow you? Just saying. So the journey. If there is 100% absolute freedom to be had out there, it is in the journey for each of you. Each of you. To God's heart and love. No one can take that away from anyone. It's not possible. Unless you want them to. Unless you let them. Because of what exactly? Yeah, I'm just saying. He knows how deceptive human beings are, and he sees their misdeeds too and marks them well. Hence, empty-headed people would do well to study sense, and people who behave like wild donkeys to let themselves be tamed. Yeah, that to me doesn't make sense. Again, mainly because how did we get to be deceptive human beings? Or how are people, some people are just so freaking cruel and horrendous, horrific in their actions and all that, towards others. How's that possible? Right? Well, what did I say? We have freedom of choice. But did God create deceptive human beings? Our original nature, is it supposed to? Is it already crafty, scheming, and deceptive? In order for me to look better, I should gossip and spread rumors about others. So you're not going to look at me, kind of thing. God knows we're deceptive. God knows we're liars. God knows we're killers. God is that's why we have the Ten Commandments. That's an interesting one. That come up. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it more later. Donkeys, wild donkeys. I don't know how wild donkeys. I've never seen a really actually wild donkey unless it was abandoned and became a part of a herd of horses or something. Donkeys are very perceptive actually. And it's almost as if in the way that certain animals are out there in the animal world, also domesticated and all that, you have to find to try and find a non-violent way to deal with an animal that's very stubborn, isn't that? Yes, and a bit dangerous. Is a good lesson for people who want to have animals. I've learned that on my farm. Yes, for goats and donkeys, for example, one thing that will work every time to get them to move or this or that is water. It's a little spray bottle. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, anyway, just saying. And they become very docile. I also found that anytime they're hurt, they'll have no problems unless you get close and take care of the problem. And then they're very grateful for it. The other thing I found too, for example, with goats and donkeys, is that they're not predators out there, wild predators, if it's not human, are having a very hard time getting goats or donkeys. A donkey actually can kill a coyote by just grabbing it by its neck and breaking its neck. That's how strong they are. Even a small donkey. I'm just saying. Goats? I don't know. You ever owned a big old billy goat? Well, I have. And if you let the horns grow as God had intended them to, they take very good of their herd and nothing will get to them to kill them. Why is it always sheep that are mentioned when wolves come around and not goats? Okay, just saying. So how are we taking the lessons out there that God has prepared for us, given us to learn and grow with it? That we use animals to show the bad nature of human beings, like compare us to, and just say, wild donkeys that need to be tamed, or on how to, as the masters of the principles of creation, on how to non-violently connect to the animals and find a respectful way to deal with them. Just asking. Yes. Who do you consider smarter, yourself or one of the animals out there? I'm just saying. So how is this depicted here? Kind of again against God and how he created things. It's just like, stop doing that. Because on the 6th day, when he was done with everything, even after the 5th day, he said, everything's great. Everything's good. Well then, God said that. If God said that, then why don't you believe it? And try to figure out where you're going wrong when you can't find the proper solution for a problem. Just saying. Come, reconsider your attitude. Stretch out your hands towards him. If you repudiate the sin which you have doubtless committed, and do not allow wickedness to live on in your tents, you will be able to raise an unsullied face. Okay, so the other thing too, and I said that before in the other video, so obviously he has committed a sin. Well, has he committed a sin? He says he didn't. And his friends say, well, if you're being treated like this by God, by golly, you have got to have done something wrong. Really? Well, we know the beginning of the story of Job, right? So, now here starts what? The gossip and the rumors about Job. Okay. You will be able to raise an unsullied face, unwavering and free from fear, for you will forget about your misery, thinking of it only as a flood that passed long ago. Then begins an existence more radiant than noon, and the very darkness will be bright as morning, confident because there is hope. After your troubles you will sleep secure. When you lie down to rest, no one will trouble you, and many will seek your favor. But as for the wicked, their eyes are weary. There is no refuge for them. Their only hope is to breathe their last. Okay, so it went into a completely different direction here again now, where that is exactly how, in my opinion, most religions work these days. Oh, you're not doing well. Oh, this is what's going on. Oh, that's because you're not having enough faith. That you're not giving enough money. You're not. You know, which reminds me of, even when I was young in Switzerland, there would be these chain letters, right? At that time, it was letters, chain letters that would come to your house. Oh, if you sent this and this much money to that person to that, then you put yourself on the list. Guess what? You're going to get so and so much money back. And one of them was a bottle of wine, right? Okay, bottle of wine, that's not money. Okay, I did never trusted that. And I was, I don't know, I was 17 or something. And I thought, I'm going to do that. Yeah, in Switzerland, you can go and buy a bottle of wine when you're 17. So I did that, and I sent it off just to see. That's just a few dollars, so whatever. I never got a bottle of wine back. No. And then there were others, you know, if you don't send this off, and then the threats, right? If you don't send this off, then something bad's going to happen to you, this or that. So with the bottle of wine, I was just wanted to see if actually more bottles of wine would come back, which they never did. Oh, ta-da! And then with the other letters and stuff, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's just see how bad my life's gonna go after this, right? Yes, nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. Then, as I came to the United States here, you know, about 3 years later, here, and then you know, the internet got more, and you would get them in your emails, right? Yes, and sent by your friends. And this is what I did. I sent every one of my friends. I sent back, said, "How dare you? How dare you send this to me with a threat at the end? You're not a friend of mine." Oh, yeah, I just cut them. I said, "No, apologize and retract this stupid letter, and don't send that to anybody else." I said, I've never gotten, I've never, oh, if you don't repost this or this or that. I said, okay, I won't. Let's see what happens. I think that's one of the lowest forms of intimidation and manipulation. And I find that, sadly, more often present in churches of all kinds. It doesn't matter which religion it is, than anywhere else. Horrible. That's a horrible thing to use God like that. My opinion, absolutely horrible to use God like that. Oh, if you admit to your sin, this and that, then suddenly everything's going to go hunky-dory. In this case, we don't even know what Job's sin is. I believe in restoring. I believe in restoration. I believe in, do acknowledge if you know what you've done wrong, and start working from there. I do believe that. But again, I just said that each one of our journeys to God's heart and love is our own. And if it isn't, if it's just a hypocritical show to the outside world, right? Yes, yeah. Well, then so be it. Right? true restoration, when you truly know, okay, this is what went wrong, and it needs to be fixed. I found that just in about anything that has to do with God, it often isn't what people think it is. It's more, as I said, it's a journey to God's heart and love. And you suddenly realize what you need to do. Suddenly the comprehension, the recognition of what restoration means among mankind suddenly comes to you. And you also will find that it always starts with you first. Always. Not for someone else out there. Yes? Yeah. Okay. That's all I have to say to this one. I made 2 today, which is great. Yes, yes, yes. Me. Just gonna wake up soon. I can feel it. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, and I praise you with love. And I will talk to you all, God willing, tomorrow.